I will go over some of the things that is illogical for society to expect me to go over and resolve. But we know that Neva Corporation and Carnegie Mellon University, predominantly the Jewish community, kidnapped, tortured me, and put prepper on my brain so that I would cough up a memory that they could use in linguistic anthropology to claim they had the right to unearth their own script and investigate whether it was true so that Oliver Stone could sell a ridiculous movie compromising a symbol of the West for holy war purposes and home invasion media. I'm a Section 8 deaf person, a senior citizen. I was ferociously violated in the AIDS attack to set up the idea that somehow I was party to the AIDS attack by looking for images of Japanese girls in the Neva Corporation's archives because of therapy massage after they partially chemically castrated me. And these are things that you're not entitled to know, but Penis Gabriel tortures me if I don't answer their questions. He says wear your inside out because they had a neuroplasm that they implanted with their soundtrack that they impinged, which is their word, on this persona's experience. And then they are friends of friends, protecting each other in the psychiatric services. Never mind that I'm deaf, never mind that I have Parkinson, never mind that with both of those, I made um, Phi Theta Kappa, made honors at two community colleges. Doesn't matter to any of them, because they're rivals protecting friends of friends who've done horrible things to me. But if you go back to the tape, it was Brecker's um, working with Peter Shell and Jaime Carbonell and the Mellons brothers. And they got me to say, tied her up and porked her with the carrots, sort of sardonically, because they were abusing me and asking me if I'd been porking anybody lately. And I vomited out this memory of Neva Pornographics circle from Climax One, where they tried to take me hostage as a 12-year-old. And this is the sort of things they do. I mean, I could recite some things for you that they did. There was a drawn, it was the sort of thing. I don't watch that stuff. And I don't like that they used me for these kinds of things when I was 12 and in a state of coma. But Reagan, who knew what they were doing, was in on it. Put Bork from Pittsburgh on the Supreme Court and summoned the Angry Fathers Union to justify their Holocaust. It's a funny farm situation across the board internationally. So and then they start saying, well, the nuclear weapons have purified the earth and stuff. I mean, it's pretty LSD, and it comes from the mind of Yoko Ono, Trumpy tune. Well, this is the Trump, this will sell them what the alternative to letting us get away with it would be. So, then what sort of thing you expect from Lenin's fascism, because he was an instigator. They pulled a fast one with Lenin, evacuated him. So they look at, they know that I dated some girls who became prominent, and they wonder, can they get sex stories out of me? Well, I'm not really in the market telling tawdry tales about these girls. So they say, well, don't you make your own whimsical pornography of girls who are attractive? I don't know. How do you know that? Are you invading my home? Sometimes I take a picture of a girl who looks like a girl who's um, engaging in some sort of attractive erotic behavior to see, compare, and use the imagination. I'm not doing it with people who are public figures. I mean, I've done it once or twice as an art curiosity for home computer experimentation. So they say they get Louis Farrakhan to sit down with Putin, and they say to each other, "How can we get this Mister Queerball to look like he's peeping at Camila Believer?" And that's this is what's in their psychotic minds. You know, I love Camila Believer's beautiful artwork. She's a brilliant, brilliant girl, but she's way too young for me. Are they mental cases? I mean, it's criminally weird though for them to be doing this to somebody who's a Section 8 all the way across the world. Do they expect me to enter politics? Look, I'm a deaf man. People don't talk to me and then say we don't want to talk to him because he's weird. That's their way. They have gross incompetence when it comes to deaf people across the board in our society. I've told, for example, the professionals at the hospital 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 75 or 80 times that I'm light deafened, and the best way to make appointments with me is through my chart. And they can't get it to congru in their comprehension bracket. They keep calling me on the phone. It's hard for me to sign. I have Parkinson's. They keep calling me on the phone, demand, and what do they tell themselves when they do that? You see, and it's been like that through my whole life. People who are grossly incompetent when it comes to deaf people refuse to teach me sign language. They actually punished by rape a girl with Down syndrome who did, as though she crossed the union line by teaching me sign language. It's actually happened. So they're grossly incompetent when it comes to deaf people. So what do? They make up stories about me to cover for horrible things they did to me that made me deaf. And they want to get Putin in on it. You know, Boris Johnson says, "Hey, hey, 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 we've got a weirdo." This is the politics of Penis Gabriel and Brian Eno, by the way. It actually is. It made its way into things like Foucault's pendulum. You know, virginity proves rape. No, it doesn't prove rape. Virginity proves rape. No, it doesn't prove rape. We need to stick him +1. No, you don't need to stick him +1. Virginity proves rape. No, it doesn't prove rape. We need to stick him +1. It made its way into shit like Humberto Eco's book titles. They put out Perfect Storm when they lit Q8 on fire. That's how deviant and wiped out of humanity Bork and his angry father's union are. My advice, if you're an angry father because your daughter got knocked up, is do what most ordinary fathers do. They say, "Well, I love my daughter. I'll support her in any way I can." And these people are psychopaths. We're going to blow up the world. Trumpy Tune starts saying that the Democrats are responsible for third trimester abortions. They want them. I mean, Hillary Clinton might be weirdo enough to want them. I certainly don't. I think 6 to 8 weeks is enough time to figure out that you're pregnant and go and terminate pregnancy morning after pills or something. But he what does he do? He hires an attack prostitute to latch onto me by saying she wants to marry me, and then run off while Rusted Root parties with Peter Gabriel and Yoko Ono laughing. We got the girl from you, and then they put up the pictures on the wall at school of my child to humiliate me. And they come and talk to me and say, "Do you believe in God?" before they do it, like they've got something up their sleeve. And you're supposed to think that they call it moral ball. It's conquistador pussy ball. And it has run through the ranks because of the administration at University of Washington, at the University of Maine, at the University of Pittsburgh. The administrators organized it. They're extremely sick people. Bill Gates is an extremely sick man. And Inslee is behind a lot of this too. Martin Nordenberg made it a theme in his legal expositions, arguing against all concept of ethics in law. saying, "Win! Ha 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 ha! Win! Ha 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 ha!"